Hello YouTube, I just wanted to show you guys my Metal Earth models and talk a little bit about the level of difficulty ranking. In my personal opinion, you can disagree with me, but I found these buildings to be the easiest to build. Golden Gate Bridge was really simple, Eiffel Tower simple. Uh, this golden thing was pretty easy. This castle's 3 sheets, but it was still pretty simple to build. Um, the Titanic is a beautiful model. The instructions say to connect the sides together first. Do not do that first. Save that for last until you've got all this deck built, and connect the sides to that just about last, and then get the antenna very last. The Golden Ship, I was nervous about it because of all the fine little lines, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. This guy is pretty simple. Banking curves is not the easiest thing, and I do not like this gun and how, I mean, this is super loose, and when you put this piece on towards the end, it's just doesn't stick very well. Big Ben is beautiful, very intricate model, not terribly difficult, and same with Notre Dame. I think is probably the most beautiful rare earth model, very intricate and detailed, but it wasn't terribly difficult to build, just time consuming and a little bit repetitive with all of these flying buttresses or whatever you call them. On the end, there's like 4 or 5 of these on the end that are slightly different than these over here. And it was like 3 in the morning. I think I had half a bottle of wine, and I put most of them up, and then finally went to bed. And immediately when I woke up in the morning, I saw the problem. See how this is not touching? The lower buttress hits the ring down there, so the top won't reach the top. And I only had one of these left to do, but if you cut off just a little bit of the bottom, then the top will come up and actually touch and look nice. So there we go. This one I built yesterday. Very beautiful, intricate model. I think it's the biggest one, but it'll still entirely fit on a $1 bill. So all these models are very small, as you probably know if you're watching this. Major design flaw in this, though. This outer edge of this building has to be formed around the roof. And I think this piece is too short. This piece is too short. And the tabs on this side do not line up at all. You have to cut those tabs off. You really don't need those tabs anyway, but just getting it formed around to fit was a pain in the butt and required a lot of finagling. And then it wanted you to connect everything together, including the stairs, and then attach it to this base. And I knew it already had too many tabs. It was a pain in the butt getting this attached to the base. I actually did the stairs last, and I was a little bit worried I was going to have to cut the tabs off because I wouldn't. But I did. I was able to finagle it and get it in. So, good looking model. This guy, Mars Rover, Spirit and Opportunity, not terribly difficult, but these 3 little cone pieces, and there's another one down there, are so small and a real pain in the butt to form. But other than that, not too bad. Leaning Tower of Pizza has really got some design flaws as far as I'm concerned. When you go to bend this piece around, it wants to bend where the doors are because there's not as much metal, so and especially the bottom piece, you really have to watch out for that. And also, it tells you to make 3 sections out of this and then connect the 3 sections together. Don't do that. Just start at one end and work your way all the way through the other, because you can't connect the sections. It's almost impossible to get anything in there to bend the tabs if you do it the way the instructions say. And it's got tabs at one end coming up right where the next round piece in the middle needs to go, and it's just a pain in the butt. But anyway. The Burj Al Arab. I've been to Dubai. I've seen this building in person. Beautiful building. I'm kind of surprised they called it the 4th tallest hotel in the world, because it's not even close to the 4th tallest building in Dubai. I folded these pieces inward. I looked up pictures of the real thing, and they go inward. rather than outward. And if you look at their model, it didn't look very good being folded out because of the curve. It just didn't connect up very well. So I stuck him in, and oh well. This guy should have been much further down the easier side, but there are some major design flaws in the Himeji Castle. This little piece, if you can see that I'm pointing at, that little piece is messed up. They did not take into account the curvature of this, so you have to cut off the bottom right of that piece. Also, the roof of that little piece needs to be shallow, because when you go to put this section on, that roof's going to hit it. So watch out there. If you look at their 360 view of this model, it's horrible, man. That the whole thing is just crooked and not straight, and I would be really embarrassed if that was mine. This took a lot of finagling to get it looking right, and I had to glue a piece up here because it just wouldn't sit right. So anyway, I mean, mine's not perfect, but it's a lot better than theirs. Oh shit, oh crap, I'll put that on later. Okay, moving on. Millennium Falcon, very popular model with these guys. Not super happy with the way this piece sits over here. I ended up getting it to look all right, but it was a little bit of a pain in the butt. I just got the ICONX version, which appears to be about twice as big as this, and it was $20. This guy looks great. It wasn't terribly difficult. See, Lunar Lander wasn't too bad. There are some small parts. Or the Lunar Rovers, Lunar Lander. This guy wasn't too bad, but you do got to be careful with all these little metal pieces. The tanks, the wheels, and the tracks are a pain in the butt, but man, they look good. Look at this. Another one I was building late at night, and you can see I accidentally put that piece in the wrong slot, so that's a little crooked, but oh well. That tank, another good looking one. The reason I put these planes down on the more difficult end is these cone shapes. Man, that was a pain in the butt getting those cones. I hate forming cones, and these are tiny with pointy ends. And one sheet model, but man, it was a pain in the butt. And there's two versions of the F-22 here. The other one, this part looks a lot different. I kind of smashed the nose cone in, maybe a little too far, but good looking model. I put this crease in here. The instructions didn't say to do that, but the real things kind of got a little separation there. Also, forgot to attach the stand when I was supposed to, and now it's impossible to bend the tabs, but luckily it sits on there. Nice. Okay. TIE fighters. Man, these were not coming along very well at the beginning, and these arms are a pain in the ass. Takes a lot of finagling. I ended up gluing some pieces. This guy started out a horrible mess. I only had 3.5 hours sleep. I was building it at a Starbucks with not very good lighting. But once you get all the back end and everything, it actually came together really nice and finished up really good. This guy's got some cones to build and bend right. Looks really good. Very detailed model here, ATST. Looks really good, but those legs, man, there's a lot of pieces, and mine's a little wobbly, but it's okay. This is the Halo Warthog. Beautiful model. Very happy with it, but man, was it a pain in the ass. This was the second hardest model I've built. And you can see I accidentally smashed the driver's seat down when I attached the top half to the bottom half. But this was a lot of fun. Very difficult to build, but it looks beautiful. There's something I was going to say. Oh yeah, when you build this little piece on the hood, make sure when you bend it that the curved part, the triangle part, is no wider than the square part, or else the windshield's going to buckle on you. Last but not least, Iron Man. Good looking model, designed pretty well, but man, this was the most difficult by far. The package, this is the only one that said advanced model not for beginners, and they were not joking. Iron Man was a pain in the butt. And he's electroplated red, and it scrapes off real easily. So all these little metal tabs that go through, even just putting the tabs through the connections, I mean, a lot of the paint got scraped off when trying to do that. First time I ever broke a piece, and it was right here in his knee. And like, yeah, you can see all the paint scraped off the tabs. Just not super happy with that, but this was the most difficult model I've built, but it looks great. I got 2 of these pieces on his back swapped. Oh well. His head is kind of flat and on the sides. I was thinking about trying to push it in and bow it out, but I ended up not doing that. So, good looking model though, but definitely not for beginners. Do not get this for a child unless you want to see him cry. Don't get this for your husband unless he's already built a few of these successfully, unless you want to see him cry and curse and throw and break things. So, this is my set so far. I've got some more to build, and I don't know, happy building.